I guess when the people who are supposed to be holding the shield are actually holding the door open for a foreign regime, the word security starts to feel like a very dark joke. Hey Canada, it's Earl. Now, we need to have a serious talk about something that just came to light in Ottawa and Vancouver this week. If you think the CCP only operates in Beijing, you are dead wrong. The news that broke on April 22, 2026, through Blacklock's reporter and the BC Supreme Court isn't just a headline, it's a wake-up call for every person who calls themselves a Canadian citizen. Here are the facts that the government and the Rcmp were forced to admit under oath. This week, an Rcmp deputy commissioner testified in Parliament that Canada considers the Ministry of Public Security, China's national police force, a law enforcement partner. Think about that. They put a police force that answers to a communist dictatorship on the same level as the FBI or the UK's Scotland Yard. When MPs asked to see the Memorandum of Understanding, the secret deal between the Rcmp and China, they were met with a brick wall. The Rcmp admitted they have a confidential partnership agreement with Beijing, and here is the part that should make your blood boil. The Rcmp cannot show the Canadian public this deal because the terms require Beijing's permission first. Let that sink in. Our national police force, funded by your tax dollars, has signed a deal that gives the Chinese Communist Party a veto over what the Canadian Parliament and the Canadian people are allowed to know. That is how a gag order works, and it's happening right here in our own backyard. If you think they're just sharing files, you're missing the bigger picture. Testimony in the trial of William Madger, a former Mountie accused of working for Beijing, revealed a terrifying 9-day incident in 2018. The Rcmp hosted 22 Chinese officials in Toronto and Vancouver. During that trip, 3 Chinese officers went missing for 6 hours in Vancouver. They ditched their Rcmp escorts and disappeared into the city. Why? Because they were running Operation Fox Hunt, a clandestine mission to harass, threaten, and coerce a real estate mogul in Vancouver into voluntarily returning to China to face a 99% conviction rate. As of 2026, reports confirm at least 5 secret police stations are still operating in Canada, tucked away in business associations in Markham, Scarborough, Montreal, and Vancouver. They list themselves as service centers, but their real job is transnational repression, monitoring the Chinese diaspora, Uyghurs, and pro-democracy activists to make sure nobody speaks out against the regime. How does something like this happen, you ask? It happens because of a broadening of relationships. That's the Liberal government's fancy term for trading our sovereignty for political convenience. By allowing the MPS to project their power into Canada, the government is essentially letting a foreign predator guard the sheep. We see the game. We see the secret deals. And we see a government that's more worried about offending Beijing than protecting its own citizens. Thanks for watching. Stay awake.